Hi everyone, welcome to another recorded lesson. Today we're going to do an activity called the CERCA sort. So if you have not already, and I know some of you have, but most of you I don't think you have, I need you to go to think, CERCA, just like it's spelled here on my screen, .com, log on with Google, and look for the assignment where it is a benchmark assignment. Okay. I know that it hasn't been that hard so far for people to find it. I haven't had anybody have any issues finding where they need to go. If you do have issues, though, on your Google Classroom at the top, there is the tab that's classwork. Underneath that classwork tab, there are different topics. One of the topics is Think CERCA, and it has a whole lot of resources to help you. You won't need most of them right now. If you read that description where all the resources are, it tells you which ones will probably be most helpful for you right now. Because we're not really doing a specific writing assignment yet. We're doing the benchmark assessment. Okay, it's kind of like MAP for writing, sort of. That's the best way I can explain it to you right now. So anyway, this CERCA sort activity, it's much better if we were in person, because then we could kind of discuss each part of it. It's something that I think would take too long, even for your 30-minute live lesson. We might do one of these, kind of discuss it if we're live on Monday. Depends on if I have my baby. But we might do one of them during class time. It's a lot harder when I have to, get, your hands raised or see your faces and that kind of thing. So it just takes longer. But that being said, let's go ahead and let's get started because it will take a little bit of time. Okay. So the first thing is that, can I move this? Oh, I can move this. Awesome. Okay. The first thing is you will be given a CERCA argument that is out of order. Okay, you'll see what that means in a minute. Your task is to identify which statement is the claim, the reason, evidence, reasoning, and counterargument. Now they're leaving off audience because audience is just something you have to think about when you're actually writing it, who you're writing it to. Okay, so it's not something that you're actually physically going to write out. All right, you're not going to say, my audience is in the middle of an argument essay. Does that make sense? One thing I don't like, and there's always something I don't like, you all know that. One thing I don't like about this activity, well, not the activity, but so much as CERCA, then they throw in reason and reasoning. Well, if you're trying to have a student remember, hey, this is what I need to do, then really it should be like CROCA or something. Like you need an extra R in there. So, if it makes you feel better, they could have even done CERRCA, like claim, evidence, reason, reasoning. You'll see how they break that down, but little, hiccup, I guess. Once you've identified them, you put them in the correct order. I'm just going to show you those. We may talk a little bit about it. And then, let me just do practice justifying. Oh, yeah. You want to be able to share why you think that they go in a certain place. Again, during our live lesson, we will, if we have one, we will probably do one of these together so you can see how this activity is best done. But I still think it's worth showing you these examples, which is why I'm still doing it. In fact, it will be really good for you all to refer back to. Okay, let's keep going. Should football be banned in high schools? Okay, everybody probably has an opinion, but we're not just trying to get your opinion, right? So This breaks down the different parts and what they really are. Okay? The idea you're attempting to prove as you make an argument. So it's an opinion. Okay? Then you have your reason why you're making that claim, why you think that. Then you have a fact or some information that supports the claim. Okay? Reasoning is then how that evidence supports your claim. So you're just saying, here's what I think, here's why I think it, here's some evidence to back up why I think it, and then you make sure that you connect this evidence to your claim. Don't just leave it dangling by itself. I've talked to you all about that a lot last year. If you weren't in my class, you'll hear it again and again and again, because as I told my students last year, I remember being told that in college. Not that that was the first time I ever heard it, but it was when it finally sunk in completely, I think, because I would include pieces of evidence and I just thought, of course, it makes sense why I'm putting that in there. Why do I have to explain that? It just felt very obvious to me. And turns out it isn't obvious to everybody, and you should never assume that your reader knows why you're putting that in there. So you always have to explain it. And then your counter argument is kind of the other side to your argument, kind of what somebody else would say. All right. So here we go. Here are some statements. Football is dangerous. Supporters of football say that it helps kids learn skills like cooperation and teamwork. However, these skills can be developed by other sports that are safer. Football should be banned in high school. According to the text, 45% of high school football players have had a concussion. And if we ban football, fewer kids will suffer concussions. So these are out of order. You know, as I read that, it should not have really flowed very good. Okay. It doesn't. If it seemed like it did, then that's why we're working on this, right? So first of all, we have to figure out what is the opinion that this person is trying to get across. What is the opinion? Now I can see, personally, I can see two answers that you all would probably pick. Okay. I can see you all picking either football is dangerous or football should be banned in high school, because you think that those are the opinions, possibly, of the author. Now, here is the trick to this. Can one be the reason for the other? So if I said football is dangerous, could you say football is dangerous because it should be banned in high school? Or should I say football should be banned in high school because football is dangerous? Right? It should kind of make more sense that they're saying football should be banned, and the reason that it should be banned is because it's dangerous. Okay, so 3, then 1, then we're looking for evidence. So evidence should be easy to pick out. According to the text, 45% of high school football players have had a concussion. Okay. And the reasoning, and then the other side. Let's go click and see. It's easier if you all see it. See? The claim, football should be banned in high school. The reason is because it's dangerous. Okay? If this could be a claim, okay, but it's not in this case. Okay? It's not in this case because you don't have a reason, that you don't have an option here that is saying why it should be, I'm trying to figure out, I want to word this correctly. If your claim was that football is dangerous, then you would have to have a reason saying because there are so many concussions, right? But we don't have a statement that says that. Also, let me see if I can go back. and I will only go back for a second. Promise, I won't do this every time. It also tells you right here, should football be banned in high schools? So your claim is going to answer that. So should football be banned in high schools? Football should be banned in high schools. It's telling you. Okay, it's like answering the question that they already gave you. All right. Again, evidence is easy. If we ban football, fewer kids will suffer concussions. Okay. And then the counter argument or the counterclaim and the rebuttal. All right. They put them together here. Counterclaim, rebuttal. Supporters of football say it helps kids learn skills like cooperation and teamwork. That's what somebody else might say, right? However, these skills can be developed by other sports that are safer. Okay? So hopefully you can see this tie into whatever method you've used before, whether it's race or races or the C method or something else. Hopefully you can see that this ties into all of them. I think in science, again, you used claim, evidence, reasoning. So this part is, a little bit different, right? CER, I think is what they do in science. So you've seen similar things, is my point. They're just making sure that you are figuring out all these parts that we've kind of always wanted you to put. All right. Let's see. Should cell phones be banned in high schools? I think we might have actually even talked about this one last year, but it's still a good practice. So again, keep in mind, this is your topic. Should cell phones be banned in high schools? Okay. Immediately, now that we've talked about it, immediately, now that we know this is our topic, should cell phones be banned in high schools, you should know what our claim is immediately. Cell phones should be banned in high school. It's the opinion that goes with the question. Okay? Then you have to figure out why. Why should cell phones be banned in high school? Well, a lot of people should be noticing the first one. Cell phones distract students. They should be banned because they distract. Okay, then the next part, you're looking for evidence. According to a study published in the Journal of Media Education, students check their phones and other digital devices in class more than 11 times a day on average. Okay, so we have our claim, we have our reason, we have our evidence, and we're looking for our reasoning, and then finally our counter argument. Now, if you're having trouble with the reasoning part, okay, hopefully when I said, this is your claim, why is this the claim? Because it distracts students. Hopefully you can get that. Then, if the reasoning, which is right here, by the way, we'll get to it in just a second, if that doesn't come to you immediately, the only two left are reasoning and the counter argument. The counter argument and the rebuttal together should be very easy to pick out as well, because it's telling you the other side of it. It's the only part of this entire CERCA thing, the entire CERCA writing method, that tells the other side of it. So this is going to be your last part, okay? So this has to be your reasoning. Supporters of cell phones in the classroom say that it can be used for instruction. However, this instruction can happen without the distraction of things like social media on cell phones. So let's go make sure we were right. Ta-da! We were right. Cell phones should be banned in high school. Why? Because cell phones distract students. Okay. Who says that they distract students? According to a study published in the Journal of Media Education, blah, blah, blah. Okay. The reasoning. How does this connect to our claim? If we ban cell phones, students will be able to concentrate. Okay. And then we give the other side. All right. I think they might have two more. Let's do maybe one more. students should have homework. I know we talked about this one last year too. Students should have homework. Okay, so immediately, again, the claim should jump out at you. Okay, should students have homework or not have homework? The claim is students should not have homework. Okay, why? Because homework takes time away from students' extracurricular activities. One reason. Okay, and basically then prove it. Says who? Who says that it takes away from their extracurricular activity? All right. For example, when students have to complete 2 to 3 hours of homework each night, it's not possible to complete that in addition to having 2 hours of sports practice or music, art, dance classes, spending quality time with family, participating in social activities, tending to chores, getting ample sleep. Guys, honestly, I kind of agree with this. I know I'm your teacher, all right, but I kind of agree with this, especially when we're in person, right? When we're in person. If you had me last year, I don't give a lot of homework. And I really do think it's because of all the other things that could be really valuable to you in your life, whether it's just your family time, a sport, or music, art, dance. You know, you have to have time for those things. Chores, they're important for you, teach you responsibility, Anyway, I'm not going to go into that right now. But then you have your reasoning down here and your counter argument. So let me show you the final one right here. CERCA sort answer key. Students should not have homework. Why? Because homework takes time away from students' extracurricular activities. Okay. Prove it, or says who. For example, when students have to complete blah, 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 blah. This shows that students ultimately have to sacrifice one or more of their extracurricular activities in order to complete their homework in a timely manner, reinforcing that students should not have additional schoolwork to do outside of the class period. And then finally, that counter argument at the end. Okay. I think I will leave it at that. I do think they give one more. Maybe I'll just click through it in case you want to have it as a review. Which school dress policy creates more positive school environment, uniforms or a dress code? Okay. Gonna do that again. Their opinion, school uniforms create the most positive school environment. Here's the answer key. It's just another example. I almost didn't pull it up, but I think it's good for you to have as many examples as possible. Okay. All right. And this is the kind of stuff, this is not exactly everything, okay, but this is the kind of stuff that you're going to be doing when you go to the Think CERCA website to do your benchmark and to do other writing assignments in the future, okay? Again, if you have issues logging in, please let me know. We will probably do one of these during our live lesson on Monday if we have it. And I look forward to seeing you all soon. All right. Enjoy your day.